3 and keeping that home undefeated streak intact. You've got to be happy with not only your offense, but the turnovers you got from your defense.
Yeah, I think for a first game, pretty complimentary effort. I think the offense was able to stay on the field ahead of the chains for the most part. I think we only punted one time. Defense was able to get them out the field, get some key turnovers, and ultimately, I think it wasn't perfect by any means, but I thought we played a pretty clean game. Guys played really hard. A lot of guys played today, and you want to set a good standard. And like I said, it wasn't perfect by any means, but I thought tonight we set a pretty good standard.
Scott Trey and Julius, 2 guys you brought in this offseason. What do you think of their performance today?
Well, it's evident that they can both go, and I think they're both powerful guys. Now, did they see everything perfectly? I think we'll look at the film. There's maybe some of those things, but they got a chance to break some things wide open. They're hard to tackle. I think those two, will complement each other. We'll have to see, exactly where things are at with Lane. That was a pretty quick exit for him, unfortunately. And then, beyond that, Jared White catching the ball. I mean, he made some explosive plays tonight. Elijah got his opportunity, did real well. So, really pleased with that group.
Were you the primary play caller today?
Yeah, I was tonight, yes.
What was that like being back on the play?
Well, I'll say this. Our guys were really well prepared, and that would include our whole offensive staff. I think we had a very deliberate plan all through camp to figure out what we do well, and get to the game planning portion for Utah Tech, and then really run with that and try to keep it as simple as possible. So, a game like today, it's about the players. Players executed. They knew what they needed to do, and made plays. So, it was players.
Who Lane was an injury then early on?
Yeah, and I don't know severity. It was on maybe the third play, something like that. So we'll have to see.
More of the other absences today, Housewright and Loniata.
For Coach Housewright, obviously part of the repercussions. I'll leave it at that. With Junior Alexander, he's not the only one across the NCAA that's caught up in a second transfer. We're still working towards a waiver. And there's certainly been some high-profile situations, I think, across the country, and he's one of those. We haven't had a waiver denied yet, so that's still very much a work in progress.
And then, with the rushing game, the offensive line, it seemed like they were pretty strong today. What did you just kind of think overall from them?
Yeah, I think we have a good group. And I think Utah Tech's got some good players too, and they did some things, and we had some negative plays here and there. But it seemed like anytime we had a negative play, we were able to make a play. Because it wasn't just this methodical thing, and we were back and forth a little bit. Obviously, not scoring that first drive when we were down there was disappointing, very disappointing. We got to be able to cash in there, but I'm certain our offensive line did some really good things today. With some guys in some different spots, and anxious to look at the tape and continue to find ways to get better. I thought we communicated well. And having Coach Johnson, I think he's done a really good job coming in and laying down his thoughts, his philosophy, and those guys have really worked well with him. And we're offensively, that's where it starts for us. I don't think there's any secret about that. And I think that group played well, and I need to keep playing well.
How did you think of the response after you got stopped on the go around? Because you guys kind of opened it up after that.
Yeah. And we turned them over on defense. Anytime you go for it down there, at least you're providing a long field for them not to come back. Got a good field position and scored pretty quickly. And you talk about all the time. Any flow of the game is not going to go exactly how you want it. How do you respond? Good play, next play, bad play, next play. Disappointing into that drive. Okay, we got to regroup and go get it the next drive. So, I think our guys, that whole philosophy fits in with what we've been working on all year. How do we respond? What do we control? Appreciate the guys, not letting that bring us down.
Quarterback progress, I mean, Tommy had a couple of throws that seemed like added to the repertoire, especially the throws out the seam to the middle of the field. So, what do you think of his progress? How do you evaluate the quarterback?
Yeah, he missed a few, but made some plays. He made the plays that he typically will with his feet. I mean, the scramble play, the throw to Jared. I mean, it was a good play by Jared, but a heck of a play by Tommy. No, I think definitely things to build on. Obviously, didn't throw a ton with him. He has 14 attempts. How many scrambles are mixed in there? That's probably another 4, 5, 6. So there's 20 call plays for him. So I think definite progress. If I'm correct, we didn't take any sacks. So yeah, there's a 0 there. That's a big part of what we need to be able to do in the pass game. So I think he's processing things well and throwing the ball well too.
I guess sharing snaps between Tommy and Sean, is that about what you guys are planning for tonight, or did the game flow kind of reflect that?
It's going to be pretty field position specific. No 2 quarterback plays tonight. Sean was going to go out there. When we got inside, tight inside the 10. So that worked out. It was good. We got Sean a couple series. It was good to see Jordan Reed get a couple series as well. I think we obviously feel good about that quarterback room, and we'll continue to utilize Sean. But from a first game perspective, that was about how we plan to do it.
Caden and Lavelle rotating in nickel. Caden gets that interception. What do you think of that play tonight?
Yeah. I think we got a good tandem there, and they both bring different things to the table. It looks like Lavelle led us in tackles. Caden gets the interception. And we lost a really good player there in Ty, but I think we have 2 really good players that will play to their strengths, and those guys are I think completely bought into the plan.
Looking ahead now to one of the biggest games of the season and next week, how do you guys switch gears?
Enjoy the win tonight. Get in the training room tomorrow. Start our plan for South Dakota State. Obviously we got the recent history of the game. We each have a game under our belt this week. So you go back and to some degree you dust off what you really liked in that game in December. You look at that game and the things that didn't play out so well. But I think our guys are going to be ready to play. But it's Sunday tomorrow. It's not Saturday, so we gotta go through the week and really get a good plan put together and get on the plane on Friday and go there with an intent to put our best foot forward. Period, I guess, and that's there's a process that goes into that.
When you look at a big stop after the 62-yard gain on that pass play, and you guys were able to hold them to a field goal there.
Yeah, I think we responded. I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like I said, bad play, next play, dig in and make some plays, and that's a team that threw for over 300 yards a game last year, so they're gonna hit some. Obviously, we got to correct what went wrong on the play that's the hit behind us, but I do feel like our guys don't panic, and that's they believe in one another. You don't panic. You move on, and you got a chance, and that's a small little example of I think how we want our guys to approach things.
How to analyze until we lost the field, but just operationally, how do you guys did just getting in and out of things?
Yeah, I thought it was relatively clean. We had the one delay a game out of the. And they're trying to speed up the game. Every little second must mean a lot to whatever. I don't know. But they got caught. They got caught too. We both got delay games out of a kickoff. I think when we had some of the younger guys in there, we had a few things that they can work through. But I think for our ones and our twos, I think that part, that's what you look at. Turnovers, penalties, timeouts you have to take for no good reason. I think we were pretty minimal in that regard.
Derek, return of punts, I guess it was kind of the main decision of him.
That's a spot that's been beat up a little bit. Obviously, Taco. Ty McCullough was really the next guy up. Jacob Trimble, true freshman, is a guy that I think ultimately could land himself in there. But Derek's really capable. It's not like that's some novelty to throw him back there. I think there's a lot of trust in what he can do, his ability to field the ball. So yeah, whether he's back there again, I think both Ty and Jacob. I mean, they're kind of in short-term modes. Jacob suited up today but didn't get in. We'll see where Ty's at as we go through this next week. Taco's more long-term. We'll look to get him back at some point too.
The defensive line will be a point of emphasis going into this week, obviously, because what happened last year. So what did you think of overall their performance in it?
Yeah, I think they answered the bell today. Obviously, the stakes will get raised next week. The operation that we're going against is one of the best, if not the best right now going in the country. Obviously, so it'll be a great test. I think our guys have worked really hard over the last almost 9 months. And a lot of it was pointed at the performance in Brookings back in December. So, it's certainly not all about them. Either side of the ball, we're gonna have to make plays on the back end and the perimeter on offense. But, I do feel like that was a good step for that group today.
So I guess David, on that interception, take us through that play. What did you see there with Kenny?
Honestly, I just saw the ball in the air, and it was just a natural reaction. I didn't really know it was Kenny. Guys were telling me I kind of ripped it out of his hands, but we say tips and overthrows, we got to have them. It's kind of a mantra we have, so it was just reading my key and getting to it.
What did you think of all the pressure you guys got at Brody, Kenny, kind of all you guys in the backfield today?
I think we played well as a front, I mean, for us, we always strive for perfection, but we know we're not going to get there. And so we always feel like we can shave inches off of things. So we'll look at the film, and, it's never as good or never as bad, but we'll see what was there and see what we can fix and adjust.
Was that your first career interception?
In college, yeah.
So, how special was
That was awesome. Especially in my first game back, to make a play like that early in the game, it was really cool.
Yeah, you dealt with a lot of injuries last year, so, how are you feeling now, and just how excited are you to be more healthy?
I'm just so happy to be playing football again. It was a long grind coming back from my knee injury and put in a lot of work, and it just felt really special to be back out there.
I think you've been through like 1 or 2 Gold Rush games before, but how would you explain that the environment, especially
This was definitely the most energy I've ever felt from the crowd compared to 21 and 22. And personally for me, it was special because I was coming back from injury and it's my senior season. But just the energy in the crowd and the sheer numbers it was awesome to see Bobcat Nation come out like that.
I think this season in specific has a different feel as well. We got that a lot through fall camp. These guys were saying, this season feels different.
I think we have a lot of guys that have, had a lot of reps on the field, and we've been through a lot these past 2 years, and now we kind of have an expectation, and we don't like to be arrogant, but we like to be confident in the work we've put in, and, we have high expectations, but we feel like we have the guys to do it, so.
How much does the experience kind of lead to that confidence overall?
I think it's a huge factor, going through all the stuff we've gone through. We try not to do too much of this, and when you have guys that have been there and done that, you can, weather the storm really well as a team.
How does it feel to go into pass coverage in this defense?
It's definitely different. It's a little bit of a throwback to my linebacker days, but it's a nice little wrinkle we have, and, the more looks we can give these quarterbacks and other coaches, the more multiple we can be, the better it is for us as a defense.
And how motivated are you and the entire D-line for next week?
We're definitely motivated. We try to stick to the process. Like, we understand the gravity of the game and the quality of the team we're playing. But, if you get too high or you get too low, no matter what, you're not going to perform to your best. So we'll come back on Monday and we'll approach it the same way we approach everything, and we'll be ready to go.
So, Caden, I guess just, first game of the season, Gold Rush, how to feel out there?
It was awesome. I mean, the crowd brings the energy, and you just kind of feed off of it. And I feel like we came out really fast, and that helped. So it was awesome. I loved it.
What'd you see on that interception?
We knew if the 2 and the 3 were tight in there, that they were probably coming out running flood. So I just sunk, and it was right there.
Well, those are preparing for that offense because they threw for a bunch of yards last year. How do you think you guys did in prep, and how did you guys do execution-wise?
Yeah, so they did. They threw a lot, and we just had to prepare for them taking shots, and then their key like stick routes and stuff like that. So we had a really good game plan. We did have like a week and a couple days to game plan for them. So it was a long week. It was like probably 8 days or something like that. So yeah, it was Yeah, good.
Communication on the back end, how did you guys do in the secondary?
Decent. There were a couple miscues. Not getting the call, stuff like that. I messed up a couple times. I know with that, so yeah, gotta tighten that up.
Does that come from the chunk plays that was more so miscues, or is it scheme, or what exactly was
It was just the bigger plays. Yeah, just not executing, not making tackles. Yeah.
You know, like not getting calls, like not getting in, or just
No, we were getting it in. Just not communicating it across, and yeah.
first career interception?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how special was that? And it looked like, I mean, you had a lane to maybe were you thinking end zone on that?
Yeah, obviously you want to score, but it was cool. It was a cool opportunity, and to do it in my first game playing nickel was really cool.
And how was that kind of balance in playing, it's two nickel system kind of, and rotating it out with Lavelle so much? How did that go your first experience?
Yeah, it worked good, and yeah, so we like alternated every series or whatever, and yeah, it went good. It seemed to work, and we both played pretty decent. So
How important do you think that's going to be for your defense? You guys have rotated a ton of D linemen, quarterbacks, and then basically almost every position rotates a lot. So how important do you think they'll be kind of later down the road?
yeah, building depth is huge, and the more guys you can get on the field, that just helps the whole defense. You can save your legs, you can catch your breath on the sideline. So I think that's huge, and that we could have two guys play that position. It's awesome.
Do you think you had a second one there?
I did. It was in my hands for a second, and I hit the ground and dropped it. So.
What do you think of his performance in his first game and those other running backs?
Freak. Like I said a couple weeks ago, he's a freak, and he's a really good runner, and when he gets in open space, he's scoring most of the time. So yeah, it was awesome.
After that IMG, I think you met Taco on the sideline, and that year we almost knocked him in the next Tuesday. That was surgery.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. He's always the first to congratulate me, and vice versa. I mean, best friends on and off the field. So that was a really cool moment, and he probably gave me 6 high fives in the next offensive drive, just walking by me, giving me high fives. So it was cool.
How you guys doing?
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just, I mean, how would you explain your emotions having 3 touchdowns in your first game and doing the goal rush?
I mean, I was highly excited, and it's a pleasure, offensive line, man, blocks so good, man. I just ran through the holes, man. I got lucky, I would put in the hard work, but I got to give all credit to my offensive line, man. They blocked perfectly, and the holes was there. I just ran through them.
Your third touchdown, you really over the end zone, and you got to sort of let the student section see it. And it was a pretty cool moment. Let's go through it that time.
I was just excited. I was like, man, I just got another touchdown, man. It's pretty crazy, but, man, I was trying to get the crowd hype, man, trying to get everybody involved. It was a big moment. Gold rush. I love the game, man.
First one you had a really, you didn't quite score, but you walked in the end zone afterwards and kind of, basically said feeding, but was there something you felt or you saw that you was trying to touch the ball?
I mean, no, I think we have a good rotation at running back room. I feel like we all run the ball good, and so I feel like anybody could be number one. Yeah, but it's a good celebration. One of the running backs back home did it, so I just kind of took it from him.
This kid goes off his question, but you threw up a peace sign too in the second one. I guess you're just going through all your celebrations. But I guess where do you get that as from, that chip on your shoulder?
I don't know. It's probably from my dad, man. He's a hard worker himself. So I mean, when we do good, we try to celebrate, try to get happy. So it's a great moment. Hard work, and seeing hard work paying off. It's great.
Jared and Julius also had big games tonight. Would you see in the rotation? What did you see from some of your teammates in the backfield?
Oh man, those guys are dogs, man. I mean, all the running backs are dogs. Any one of us can, any given night, go off. I just happen to be me tonight, man. But any one of us can go off, man. We're all really good players. That's why we're here.
You mentioned that offensive line, and obviously a great year last year. But what was it like just to, I guess, kind of see Red Sea parted like that up front?
It's great, man. Like honestly, I mean, the holes was there. Like I just tried to run through it, man. It was beautiful. The whole, I mean, got all credit to my offensive line. I love those guys up front. They do what they do. They work hard, so it showed up today. So.
How did were those running back battles during your drills during fall camp with so many guys who can obviously start this league?
Oh, that's for sure competitive, you know what I mean? But I mean, not selfish, you know, everybody loves each other, man. So it was competitive, but we keep it only on the field, you know. You always try to support each other. Yeah. Well, those
You,
guys.
when you signed with MSU, did you expect to be doing this quickly?
It's a good question. I mean, I expected to help the team out any way I could. So I mean, I guess somewhat, yeah. I guess I did expect it, but I mean, not like this. I mean, pretty big, but it was nice. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
You're, you know, obviously wearing number 22. You're from the Seattle area. Is that do you wear that number because of Isaiah Alfonso, or is that just coincidence?
Pretty much coincidence, but I mean, I like number 22. Number 9 was my number in high school, but I mean, it was taken. So number 22 is just a great number, and a lot of running backs wear it. So why not wear it?
What are you hoping to take from this performance tonight into one of the most anticipated games of the season so early next week?
I'm just gonna get some good sleep tonight, eat some good food, you know, shower, sleep, and I'll wake up tomorrow, focus on the next opponent in front of us.
What was just the energy in that stadium, that gold rush, you know, all those fans in there?
Yeah, something I never experienced in my life right there. It was beautiful, man. The fans came out, supported us, man. It's pretty ecstatic. It was fun. It was really fun.
Do you think all the running backs and guys on the team are always kind of stay hungry and motivated because they know there's a chance they'll get in, there's a heavy rotation kind of along the positions?
Yeah, for sure. Any moment you can get your number called in our running back room. So yeah, everybody's good. So we're gonna use everybody. Keep some hits off each other.
Is your running back room got a motto or anything, you guys?
We do juice squad because we bring the juice 9 times out of 10. We try to bring the juice to the team, so we're juice squad.
You, when Julius kind of had that run where he shoved the guy off and going in the end zone, did you, I guess, what was your vantage point of that run?
It was amazing. I was juiced up, you know. He juices up the team like every one of the running backs do. They juice up the team. It's a great run. I was excited for my man. You know, he's a great guy. I love that guy. Love Julius.